actually it is about paperwork, because it's about, did you come here legally or did you come here illegally? I've never had to fear ICE ever in my whole entire life, even when Obama was president. It's disgustingly racist how you guys are pushing this ideology that it is about our skin color, and simply because I'm a brown woman, I'm gonna get snatched up. No, that's not how it works, darling. Because I am a citizen of the United States of America, I get to sue if they ever do anything illegal, like racial profiling me, or if they ever hold me, detain me, whatever. The only time I've ever been racial profiled was when I was in Miami, because there's a lot of people that come through illegally there, that one person, when I was trying to get a job, they didn't believe that my ID was real, and they wanted further proof that I was a US citizen. But guess what, darling? I was able to provide it because I am a citizen. It's nothing to me. I recently just saw a video where people are, again, pushing fear and saying that ICE is now doing an operation called Freaky Friday, where they're going after children, minors, right? And it is so disgusting, because a simple Google search will show you that that is not true at all. There's no operation called Freaky Friday. If you guys truly cared about the Latino community, you would tell the Latinos to stop fucking sending all of these children through the border without a parent. You would tell them, stop being neglectful, stop being awful parents, stop putting your child at risk simply because you want to be selfish and come to the United States of America, all because of opportunities. We'll make some damn opportunities in Latin America then. I literally got adopted, so I didn't have a choice whether or not I got to choose whether or not I came to the United States. But if I had the opportunity and I was never adopted, I would never put my children at risk. But instead of holding the Latino community accountable, what do? You guys rather talk about ICE. Only a coward would send their children to the United States of America and put their children's lives at risk simply because you want to not move other places in the world. There are other places in Latin America that you can move. And did you know that as a Latin American, you can also apply for citizenship to Spain, and you have rights over other people? Other people have to wait a long time just to be accepted into Spain. You do not at all as a Latin American. You guys only care about your political agenda and your hatred against Trump. I was actually raised in Guatemala, and I went through a lot of trauma. You know why? It wasn't because of the white man. It was because of Latinos. And I know plenty of other children who are going through the exact same trauma because of why? Because of Latinos. There's already been white people being deported. Why? Because white people also come into the border illegally. It's not about race. It's about, are you here legally or are you not? I already told you guys in another video, before I even learned about Candace being conservative, all of that stuff, I was already telling Latinos, first of all, stay in Guatemala, because there's reasons why they want you to leave Latin America, and you're creating more chaos the more you're willing to just leave situations instead of addressing situations. I've had my own family, my own foster family, ask me if it's a good idea to come through the border and they want to bring their children, and I said no, because you're putting your child at risk. And that's what I told them. I said no, absolutely not. That is not okay. I don't know if you're Latino or not, but some of you guys have never lived in Latin America. Some of you guys have never lived with the Latinos in Latin America, baby. It is way different from living with Latinos from the USA. Y'all don't know the things that Latinos do in Latin America to one another, and it has nothing to do with the white man. I've seen a thing or two in my life. I've experienced a lot of BS in my life. That is the reason why I'm so passionate about the things that I'm passionate about, because I've lived through a lot. And like I said, If I never was adopted, I would never be a coward and leave my own country. You know why? Because I love my country. I love Guatemala. I am so sorry, but it is time to start holding Latinos accountable for their actions. I am sick and tired of how we are so just nonchalant about letting children come through the border without parents. I'm so sorry, but I am not gonna be quiet when there is real issues and none of you guys are wanting to hold Latinos accountable and actually tell them, hey, stop fucking sending all of your children up here. Do you not know how dangerous that is? Do you not know how much, like, you are literally sacrificing your own children all in the name of what? It never made any sense to me how there are Latina women that are willing to come here illegally and then start families here. Ma'am, the moment you get taken back to your country, what's going to happen to your children? Do you not care about your fucking children enough to think about their safety? Hey, if I get taken away from my children, what's going to happen to my children? Does that not fucking cross your fucking minds? Latinos come into the United States and they forget about the things that are happening in Latin America. Mexicans shouldn't be freaking leaving Mexico. There's a whole femicide going on. Guatemalans should not be leaving Guatemala either. America has to worry about people from the East coming through because there's plenty of people from the East that want the West to completely be destroyed. You guys want people to fear ICE. You guys want people to hate ICE when ICE is doing its very best to defend our country, to protect our country. If you care about Latinos, why don't you go and marry one and make sure that they become a citizen? If you guys cared about Latinos, you guys will actually stop filling the pockets of all these corporations that is destroying the lives of Latinos. Y'all will become self-sufficient instead of relying on slave labor. That's why y'all want all of these illegal immigrants. Because, you know, what do people always say? Who's gonna pick our fruits? Who's gonna do this? Who's gonna do that? Oh my God, but we're Americans. We want a bigger pay rate. Those aliens are willing to work for nothing. No, keep them. Keep them. You can't just point at one thing and say, oh, that's the reason why this is going on. There's a lot in Latin America that is going on. Whether it's because of Latinos doing crazy things to one another, or whether it's the corporations that Americans are participating in, like your grocery stores or the tourism. How many of you guys say, oh my God, ICE, but then go and travel to Latin America and participate in the tourism that is literally exiling a lot of Latin Americans and destroying a lot of Latin American communities? There's a lot of chaos going on, and it disturbs me and it saddens me completely. Do you not know how much my heart breaks seeing Latin America the way it is? I grew up there. I think a lot about my family members still living there, what they're going through, how they're dealing with a lot of the BS. But again, you can't just talk about ICE without also holding yourselves accountable as Americans as well, and how you're literally affecting Latin Americans because of your lifestyle. I have always been talking about that, and I will continue to talk about it. If I could fix the issue that is happening in Latin America, I would. But again, I'm one person. This takes a collective work. There are so many Latinos that don't care either. I've literally been speaking about all of these issues for a long time. And you have no idea how many Latinos also just don't care. They don't care. They don't care about fixing the issues that we have in Latin America. I've been screaming about these issues for a long time. I used to also be that type of person that said, no, Latin Americans, they're from America. They should at least be able to come into the United States because we're Native Americans. A lot of us are Native Americans. Why wouldn't we come to the United States? But those 320,000 children, right, that were coming through underneath the Biden administration, that really woke me up. And it really changed my perspective, because that is not okay. You actually start doing research. There is a lot of just disgusting things that is going on. And guess who's allowing that to happen? Latinos. Latinos are being selfish. Latinos are sacrificing their own children, the safety of their own children. Like I said, all in the name of what?